While I was at the tow company, we had a little bit of difficulty hiring enough drivers to adequately take care of the business, because we had about 2,000 or 3,000 more tows one month than the next. And so one of the things we did was we gave everybody 2 days off on the off months and only 1 day off on the police on months, and then we had no vacations. Ours were the even numbered months, so no vacations during the even numbered months. But still, we would hire drivers, and we find out that experienced drivers have problems. They've learned to do stuff incorrectly, and they can continue to do it incorrectly. And you can talk to them and train them to do it the right way, and when you go out and watch them, and they still doing the bad thing, like they only do one tie down chain. Winch the car up on the bed and put one tie down chain. And then our winches, the winches are made to pull up, but they're not made to lock. They do lock pretty good, but once they start wearing out, then they give a little. So if you pull the car up on the bed and you put one chain in the back, and you have the yoke and the winch on the front, and then you do this and you drive down the road, pretty soon the car's going like this. And one night I got a call, and we had picked up a car on US 95 where a wife had broke down, and her husband called us, and we picked up the car, and he drove out to the scene and picked up the wife, and he was driving behind our tow truck. Well, that started happening. Pretty soon we got enough slack where the hook just dropped on the bed, and then it rolled forward, and the two front hooks dropped off, and the car just rolled off the back of the tow truck, which is about this high, almost hit the car that was following it, which was their car, and went across and hit the guardrail on one side, went across and hit the guardrail on the other side, and it was like a ping pong ball going down the freeway. And I got that call about 3 a.m. It was one of those things, the meat grinder, you know. I had to go and tell the guy, it was a fairly late model car. And luckily it didn't hit them, or he avoided it. But so they wanted the insurance company and all this kind of stuff, and I had to deliver the car to the dealership, and ended up taking them to breakfast and stuff, and schmoozed them and told them we'd take care of it, which we did. And we asked the driver. The driver was a mechanic that worked for us and drove at night, and we thought, man, he would know how to hook up a car if anybody did. But he'd learned to tow somewhere else, and truly, the correct way is to have 4 tie-down points on every car, and the winch does not count as a tie-down point. Federal law says you have to have at least one at the front of the car, one at the back of the car, but the towing company rules is 4. Any towing company training is 4 tie-downs. So we had a big training on how to do it, and we had this extra chains with links that we'd hook up to the cars and stuff. We had this procedure, but in spite of all that, 2 months later, we lost another car off a flatbed in the middle of the night. Luckily, the people weren't following it, but the car was totaled, and we had to pay for that car too.